CISCmilitary.com.
Sir, you mentioned earlier that many SDF were killed or wounded in the taking of Raqqa. Do you have estimates now on how many were killed and wounded, and do you have estimates on how many ISIS were killed and how many surrendered?
Yes, I don't have good ISIS figures off the top of my head, but I do have good SDF numbers. And so throughout the fight, there have been over 1,200 friendly KIA of SDF forces. Specific to Raqqa, there were approximately 434. Wounded throughout the fight in northeast Syria for the SDF is a little bit greater than 2,500. And for Raqqa specifically, approximately 905. So a significant loss to both Kurds and Arabs fighting together to rid northeast Syria of the evil of Daesh. And they are, the SDF, both Arabs, Kurds, Armenians, all of them continue to honor them in their sacrifice. And the world owes them a significant debt for all that they've done to help us rid the world of this evil.
Sir, on ISIS, you have no estimates on their casualties?
I don't have off the top of my head, but we can find those figures and get them to you, and I'll ask Colonel Dillon to do that.
Sir, is it possible of the ISIS fighters who surrendered? What's happened to them?
So that is a lot of those are continue to be detained by the SDF in their facilities in northeast Syria. There were a lot of ISIS that were considered ISIS because of their relationship with the Daesh, but a lot of them were not necessarily fighters. They were in administrative positions, working in hospitals, helping feed the large number of Daesh on the battlefield, and so a lot of those that were captured have been turned, that were local Syrians, have been turned over to their tribal leadership underneath their control. And the SDF leadership feel comfortable that the tribal leadership and the tribal code in northeast Syria will make sure that they maintain control of those individuals. And so we feel pretty comfortable that that is the case.
Sir, again, do you have an estimate on how many surrendered?
I do not have a good number for you. There have been large numbers that have surrendered in each of the fights, the major fights, in Manbij and Topka and throughout the liberation of northeast Syria. But I can tell you from experience, from driving around, that the security there provided by the local civil councils and the internal security forces is such that it is a very low threat of any Daesh attacks or any Daesh period in northeast Syria. They still have the ability, as closer to the front line of the enemy, as we get closer to the Euphrates River Valley, to infiltrate around the SDF positions. But once you get away from the front lines, it is a relatively secure place throughout northeast Syria.
Okay, thank you.